What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Let's Talk. We're going to talk this time about weird food habits, obviously. But more importantly is I've had conversations with people recently, especially after my crunchy versus smooth peanut butter, and I started asking other kinds of questions just to get some kind of idea. I also had someone kind of tell me what really triggered this happening. And I have to say that I was really kind of weirded out because it got to the point in everything that I was doing that people were telling me that they do really weird shit with their food. And one I found to be interesting is there are people who put their entire loaf of bread in the fridge. I don't really like cold bread. But I was given one reason that said if you have a lot of humidity in the house, that can cause the bread to go bad faster. And the less people you have, or the less times that you actually sit there and actually go through a loaf of bread, it probably would be beneficial to slap that bad bastard in the fridge. Okay, I understand it for the sake of preservation, but if you get bread and just instantaneously throw it in the fridge and it's, I don't know, 50 out, that's weird. Sorry, but it's freaking weird. I've already had my stance on putting salt on watermelon, and that's disgusting. I've heard because it makes it sweeter, it breaks down the enzymes, and I thought that's what sugar was supposed to do. I could never bring myself to even try it. That has to be one of the most god awful things I've ever heard when it comes to food. I have sort of a difference of opinion when it comes to this because I kind of understand it, but at the same time I kind of don't. People who put their fruit in the fridge. There are some that I prefer cold. Pineapple stays cold. Watermelon stays cold. Apples, room temperature. Nanners, room temperature. Grapes, either way. I could take some really cold grapes and be okay with it, or I could take room temperature ones. Oranges, room temperature. But conversely, I'll take grapefruits in the fridge. Like a cold grapefruit and put some sugar on that thing. That thing's amazing. So, if you put all your fruits in there, I don't quite understand, but I mean, you do you, boo boo. Another thing is you take a lot of food that you make, or like if you go and one thing I know that a lot of people do is if you go out hunting and you take a deer and you field dress a deer and you chop it up and all that kind of stuff and you put it in the freezer because it's going to take you a while to eat an entire deer. I get that. But you're going to make a point to eat that deer within that time frame. Because there is a shelf life for things in the fridge. You don't just get a deer, chuck it into the freezer, and then a decade later go, all right, let's rip into this bad bastard. You can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Whether it's freezing it just really, really, really slows down the decomposition. I'm not saying it's going to go rotten in the fridge, but it will go bad. It will come to a point where it's not going to taste nearly as good as it did if you would have done it within the first 6 months that you threw it in there. Freezing is more of a... Think of it as an extended fridge. It's not going to keep shit forever. I mean, it will, but it's not going to be as good. Unless it was already frozen. Like a pizza, I know that you could get and throw in the freezer and it'll stay for a while and everything will be hunky frickin' dory. I mean, that's different. But if it were fresh at one point and you go to freeze it, it's still not going to be as good. So don't just freeze shit just for the sake of freezing shit. I've heard and I've seen it, like all the weird stuff that we do with pizza. People that turn it backwards and eat it crust first. People that peel the crust off before they even eat it. Or they eat it from the toppings first and then eat everything. Or, which that pisses, oh, you want to do that with your slice? Fine. But if you peel a pepperoni of mine, you better eat the whole damn thing, because I wanted that pepperoni right where the hell it was. I will go to war on some shit like that. Don't, no. Nope. No. I will, no. Nope. Or people that eat to the crust and don't eat the crust. People that eat the entire slice. Like, I think pizza's a weird thing, especially when you put dead fish on that fucker. Why? I guess because I'm kind of more of a simple guy. I don't quite understand all of these. Let's just put a bunch of crap on a slice of pizza. I guess it's okay as long as it has tomato sauce and melted cheese. I don't quite understand. Mainly because I won't put anything that grows in the ground on mine, but I mean, to each their own. You know, whatever. I found out a friend of mine does this. Well, before I get into that, if you have butter, do you keep it in the fridge or do you keep it outside the fridge? If it's stick butter and you use it to spread on toast or anything like that, that stick butter stays out. Because I want it to actually spread, not have like a clump of shit one way, and I try and coerce it to go elsewhere. Next thing you know, you've cut a hole in the piece of toast with a clump of butter. No, that is annoying as hell. The stick butter stays out unless you have tub butter. Then the tub butter stays in the fridge because it'll still spread. Beyond that, nope. I will keep butter, especially stick butter, in the fridge. And to be more specific, the stick butter that stays out is just one of those in the little butter housing or whatever. That is the one that stays out. The other 3 or 4 that come in the package, those stay in the fridge. Like, I don't keep all the butter out of the fridge. That's just dumb or weird. Weird, dumb. But a friend of mine does not put butter on his pancakes, his waffles, or his French toast. Just syrup. I'm going to have to veto that because butter on any of these 3 is amazing. Although I did hear a reasoning behind the waffles, because as soon as you start to spread it, the butter just kind of sits here and it doesn't go anywhere else. So I kind of get that one. But again, that's why you get the spread. Why you spread that bastard. It'll get everywhere, and it makes getting into the center all the much more. Oh my god, it's amazing. So no, I definitely put butter on all 3 of these, and my order of preference goes like this. Sometimes like this. I found out that there are people I know that will refuse to eat an apple unless it's been skinned. Just won't eat apple skin, which again is weird to me. I'm used to just polish it on your shirt and just rip into it. That's it. But no, I have to sit there and peel the whole damn thing and then partake. Which I've done that a couple times, and I definitely can see where that's okay. But I've always found that where you started peeling, unless you're really good at it, by the time you get all the way around, where you started peeling starts to turn brown. So you got to quickly eat it before it starts to go brown all around. So I don't know. I get that one, but I just find it weird that having the skin, if it were to fold on itself and you move it a little bit, the rubby sound is like, okay, whatever. This is my personal one. Just looking at it and even drawing this it hurts my teeth right now. I tend to stay away from popsicles. Okay. Because that's so much better. Because I don't like how and I know it's going to be taken the wrong way, but I don't like how wood feels on my tongue. Like a tongue depressor. It hurts my teeth just thinking. Yeah. Hurts my teeth thinking about it. I can't. Nope. It's not to say I won't eat them, but it never touches my teeth. Ever. Alright, I gotta move on because that's really bothering me. So people who will only do strawberry jelly versus grape jelly. And it's funny because I've heard a couple of different stories about this, and both of them have pretty much been the identical story. They both had a relative. In the two stories I heard, it was, funny enough, both an older brother that would make a PB&J and take the grape jelly out of the fridge, make a sandwich, and then leave it out so that it starts to go bad. And you get that little weird fruity film on top. And so they never touched the strawberry one. So if you got strawberry and you had it in the fridge, they never touched it. So it eventually got to the point to where, I guess out of necessity, or we could even say survival, they went to strawberry instead of grape. I'll take either, but I generally am more used to grape, as most of us are. So that one's a little weird. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess because I never had an issue with grape that I had to move on to strawberry and have that be my fail-safe. But speaking of grape jelly, this is why the burger is drawn. I think that's a pretty damn good drawn burger, if I do say so myself. But I have actually bit into a burger and had a chunk of grape jelly. I immediately stopped eating that burger. I was told it was supposed to preserve the moisture in the burger. Supposed to prevent it from drying out. Cooking it right also helps. You don't have it cook one side completely thorough before you flip it and then cook that side completely thorough. You're not keeping all of the juice inside. You got to keep turning it. Think of it like a colander, to where you're draining it down. Well, if you flip it, you're draining it back down again. So you can eventually just keep it right in the middle. That's all the more you need. But biting into grape jelly in a burger had to be one of the most traumatic things I had when it came to a burger. And I still to this day do not trust beef from the person that made this burger, because they also decided putting salsa in meatloaf was a good idea and not telling you until you've eaten it, which was another one of the most horrific discoveries. Like, if you were to tell me that you wanted to experiment and put salsa in meatloaf and see how it went, okay, at least I can prepare myself for it. But if you're not going to tell anybody that it's in there, just, well, bite into it, see how it tastes. You know, isn't it amazing? Fuck no, it's not, you goofy bastard. This is... Why would you do this? And not tell anybody? Are you, I don't know, sadistic? No. You sadist? No. 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 I can't do it. Do you know any weird food habits? Anything that you've had an experience with in your life? Someone that has done something odd to food? You know, you hear about putting orange juice or water in cereal. You're better off just taking that cereal, checking outside, and feeding the local wildlife. At least that's how it is in my book. Yeah, anything like that you guys know about that you want to, tell me about that I haven't heard of? Because this was a pretty extensive list, as not all these things I'm guilty of, but I have heard of or people have told me stories about. So I find it interesting that there are all these little oddities that, I mean, and it's oddities in my eyes, obviously, but I find it interesting, and I'm just curious if you guys have anything. I'm gonna get off of the food topics for a while, because I know recently I had the peanut butter one, and now we're doing more food topics, so I don't want to kind of overshoot some of it, so we're gonna move on from food topics for next week. But let me know what you guys thought. Hit that like button, throw some comments down below, some weird shit people do with food. Share and subscribe. Till I see you guys in another video. I'm Pickle, and I'm out.